Likes to get it done through the air. The Packers are top 10 in pass yards, and they're going up against the Vikings, who will need to be ready to cover a lot of space.
This place first opened way back in 1957. We are inside legendary Lambeau Field here in Green Bay. We all know this community lives for its Packers, and the green and gold came out of the tunnel a short time ago, and it was loud. We are ready for football, so are they, as the Packers get set to match up with the Minnesota Vikings. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by the former Cal Bear, Aaron Rodgers.
And the numbers were not pretty. I mean, they don't look right. When you throw 2 interceptions, no touchdown passes, there's no way to really make that work. But I thought there were a lot of positives in watching his game tape. I think he's close to putting out a good performance. Let's see if he can flip. Numbers around in this game, and of course rally his team to a win.
Now the first carry for Ty Montgomery, and able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
I think many people thought Ty Montgomery would automatically go back to being a wide receiver this year, but it appears he's going to stay at running back. I know they drafted Jamal Williams from BYU, but Montgomery proving his worth.
And he proved it, proved it last year. 5.4 yards per carry, 4th best in the league. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. From the gun, it's Rodgers. Able to power through. He'll wind up being stopped for no gain, and it'll lead to a 4th down. On now is the Packers punter. He'll kick it away after a 3 and out on the opening drive of the game. And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. It'll wind up being a net of 41. 9-yard return, 50 on the punt. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. They'll be led out by Kirk Cousins, their Pro Bowl quarterback, in his 6th season now.
I like this guy, and the reason I do, he tends to stay on an even keel. Doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
And not going to be able to push this forward. He runs into a wall right at the line of scrimmage. The starters now on offense. And Stephon Diggs, our first chance to see him today.
Brandon, remember we had this conversation about how highly recruited he was in high school. Didn't quite live up to it in college due to some injuries. But, boy, has he hit the NFL like a bomb. Stephon Diggs, a crafty, mature route runner who can go the distance.
Off the play fake, Cousins going deep for Diggs. And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs, 76 yards. And the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead. Well, they went play action there and set it up nicely for him. I mean, he can flat fly, and they hit him downfield.
And it doesn't take much to create that extra bit of space that a guy of his speed needs. If you go play action, all you want is just a moment where the guy's covering, take their attention somewhere else, and then he's by him. And once he's by him, there's no catching him. As they always like to say, if a receiver's even to a defensive back, that means he's leaving.
Unless that DB is Charles Davis, right?
In that case, he left me a long time ago.
Come on now.
Trust me.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. The partner, just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season, the playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from taking a runner early, but there's that special one there.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Ben Gideon in there to record the second sack of his young NFL career. You know darn well both of these teams reviewed the film and saw that this defense had 5 sacks last week. They got to keep their QB upright.
And they're going to try their best to do exactly that. But they're facing a team where getting to the quarterback is a mindset. It's a mantra for them. And they play a game within the game. And you know what it is? Let's race to the quarterback and see who gets there first.
No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers. He's going to dump that off to his running back, Montgomery. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And give him a gain of 37.
The best passing attacks in the NFL often incorporate the guys out of the backfield catching the football. And that's what we just got on that play. As a primary receiver, not always just a check down, not always a safety valve. Sometimes they just get it to him right away because they have the matchup advantage.
Rodgers now on 1st down. Caught by Montgomery. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. It's a 4-yard pickup, and it'll make it 2nd down. Quickly now a look at the defensive starters for Minnesota.
Let's take a second here to talk about cornerback Xavier Rhodes. And what I love about his game, his long arms and strong hands. When you put him in press coverage, it's really hard for receivers to get off the line of scrimmage and get into their routes.
Had what most thought was his best year in 2016. The trophy case agrees, his first Pro Bowl. Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. That's complete to his tight end. This is Lance Kendricks. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. They give him a gain of 38.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, That's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
And again, it's Rodgers. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Everson Griffin in there to get him, and that is sack number 15 for him on the year.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on 1st and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
On 2nd down, here's Rodgers. And his throw here's incomplete. Devontae Adams, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
Now we got 3rd and goal coming up, and couldn't you imagine being in that huddle, partner? You know they're looking at each other saying, we can't come away with just 3 points after this drive.
And they've covered a lot of ground. They want more than that 3. And man, it's Montgomery for the Packer touchdown. Ty Montgomery with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Packers are within an extra point of tying this thing up. Well, he wasn't the guy they were initially going for, but after going through the progressions, it worked.
When you have plenty of people who can catch the football, you don't always have to go to your primary target, and sometimes that target is actually covered. Nice job coming off of that and getting it to someone who was open.
And the man out of the backfield gets in for the score. And a good effort on the return there gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him. And
he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. 1 quarter down here on a frigid December night. 7-all is the score. We're back to Lambeau in just a moment. And they've got it here with a 1st down. Again, this is Cook. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
The evolution of Clay Matthews as a player, it's just one that they're going to end up writing books about. He didn't even start until his senior year at USC. He didn't start in high school. And now he's at all-pro level in the NFL. How about the play he just made there?
He has certainly made a name for himself. William Clay Matthews III. And he's brought down. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
1st down, here's the run with Cook. And he's going to be out of bounds down inside the 20. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
Well, last year, I'm not sure we saw very many of those runs, did we, from the Vikings? I mean, they had the poorest rushing attack in the league.
Just 75 yards per game, but carries like the one we just saw, that'll help bolster that average.
Yeah, certainly, and they tried to beef up the offensive line in the offseason, brought in Latavius Murray, and then drafted Dalvin Cook out of Florida State.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
When you think of Mike Daniels, you think of strength. Hard to knock off the football, but surprising quickness and ability to move and evade people. How about that play there?
Well, he can squat 600 pounds, so that's how he caught people's attention coming into the league, and he caught our attention right there.
on a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
And he has the first down before he's tackled at the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. And the Packers pick it up. He's at the 50. He's at the 30, 20, 10, and they will score. It's a Packer touchdown. And give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Vikings offense making their way back out. Now let's give you a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
I'm impressed.
Yeah, I am impressed. That means 2 weeks if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch. How much importance is placed on these games? Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadrupled. And that's where we are right now to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs.
He had a great move, but he'll still be stopped shy of midfield. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
And an alley to run. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a 1st down. Keep the sticks moving.
To throw is Cousins. His throw incomplete. Kendall Wright, the intended target. And now it's 2nd down.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the 1st half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Going with a screen for Murray. 1:59 to go in the 1st half. We're back to Lambeau following these words. A reminder that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll check in with Larry Ridley in Orlando with highlights and analysis of this 1st half of play.
And I'm going to check in with a heater.
I'm going to be right there with you, partner.
On 3rd and 1, I think everyone in the stadium thought they'd try and run the football there, but they tried to surprise the defense and hit something through the air. Instead, it results in an incompletion.
This would have been a 54-yard boot had they tried a field goal, but they will not try a field goal. They're going for it. Running for it, here's Cook, and he's going to have the 1st down yardage to the 35. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and on 4th down, they're able to convert and move the sticks.
Oh, he's not going to get it by much, but on 4th and 1, all you're worried about is moving the sticks. And here he's able to fight his way forward for a couple of yards, and that's all he needed.
Man open left side, it's Williams. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. And the 8th play on this drive coming up. First down, here's Cousins. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Throwing again, Cousins on 2nd and 10. Throw left side complete. It's Morgan. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for third down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
On 3rd and 1, here's Cousins. Fights off the defender. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And he's able to get this down to the 5-yard line before he's out of bounds. It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's 1st and goal.
Hey, we talked about Adam Thielen a little bit last year, didn't we? Possession receiver, makes some tough catches, gets it done, and he's a homeboy. Grew up very close to the Twin Cities.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great effort there. Touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Vikings are an extra point away from tying this thing up. And a little time left on the clock, so on the other side, they're thinking, gosh, we'd like to get that lead right back.
Yeah, thanks for pointing that out. Here I am, go ahead and tapping out the first half.
Well,
there's still time. They've got to make a decision about what they want to do on the kickoff, where they want to let their return guy touch it.
Now the return. Here comes Randall Cobb. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
Throwing on first down is Rodgers. It's caught outright by Graham. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10. Well, he caught it right at the line of scrimmage, and before he could even think about advancing it forward, he got hit.
Great tackling, because that's what you're taught. Don't give up yards after the catch, and most offenses make a living off of yards after catch. Those hidden yards that may not go into the score sheet, but they count big for moving the ball and stretching the field. Really nice open field tackle.
Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. And he'll be out of bounds up past the 45. A good pickup there at 22.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way. Work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
Rodgers now on first down. Oh, he's got some breathing room. Finding room inside the 40. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. On first down, Rodgers. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
Now, I know it's only a loss of a couple of yards, but when you get near the sidelines, just flip the ball out of bounds, incomplete, and save the yardage. Save the yards, not your stats.
Second down now after the sack. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd. The Packers on 3rd down. They've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. Working from the gun, Rodgers. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now.
Boy, you will not see a quarterback of his caliber miss on one like that very often. I mean, there it is, wide open, got the shot, and he misfires.
We talk about, boy, he'll want that one back all the time. He definitely wants that one back. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And they take a 17-14 lead. So they kick it through to take the lead. There is a little bit of time left, though, here in the second quarter.
And while they're concerned about not giving up a big return or giving up points themselves going into the half, how good do they feel, though, putting points on the board themselves right near the end of the first half?
They go play action here on first down. Going up top. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back. But that's one step in the proper direction.
On second down, Cook. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. So happy holidays, Larry. Your gift? Take the halftime show off, partner. We got some football to get to. That'll be taken in the end zone. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. On the carry, it's Cook. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Call it a gain of 5, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Cousins from the gun on 3rd. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
I'm not sure we can spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Out of bounds and close. The question, was it a touchback? No. They'll say it crossed out at the 2-yard line. So here are the Packers now. They get set for their first possession of half number 2. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away.
Yeah,
Defense,
got the lead. Yeah.
we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over.
Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he went nowhere. He'll lose lose yardage back to the 29. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Well, you had the punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
Cousins. He's going to float this one deep right side. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man. And you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be brought down, but a tip of the cap on the spin move as that gives him a first down.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down?
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert.
Packer pressure, and down he goes. Mike Daniels in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. That's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
This is taken at the 15. That'll go as a 42-yard punt, but a net of 32. They had a 10-yard return, and it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. Now a play fake here on first down. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. He has just been alone for opposing offenses to account for now 8 interceptions on the year.
I love that number because I always think of center field. You know, when I hear 8, because that's the position you're right in the scorecard in baseball. And what do good center fielders do? Take away all the alleys, right? They range deep and make a whole lot of great catches.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
The reception good for 7. It's third down.
As if he didn't have enough to think about on that route, the comeback route, coming back to the football and catching it, decided to make sure he toe-tapped and kept himself in bounds.
And that was spectacular, but on the comeback route, maybe a little easier to... And he's going to score! It's a Viking touchdown! Kirk Cousins, a 6-yard touchdown run. And the Vikings are going to retake the lead. So a quarterback scramble, certainly a pass play, but he saw something, tucked it, and got in the end zone.
A lot of quarterbacks, when they scramble, they're scrambling to create more time to throw the ball downfield. In this situation, as you noted, he tucked it and took off. Great play by him.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This one taken from the 7. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens.
319!
They'll try to get something going with Ty Montgomery. And not going to be able to push this forward. He runs into a wall right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. And when you're running the football, one thing you don't want to see is a big boy coming up there to swallow you whole in those D tackles and nose tackles.
No, you're actually counting on your big boys to protect you from them. But on that play, the defensive tackle had the leverage, and he won the battle. No gain, correct?
No gain. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
It's the Packers who have the football, but in need of points as we begin quarter number 4. The Packers on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. They'll run it. Here's Montgomery. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
So many things go into making a good play on defense. In this situation, just not being blown out of the way was a big start, and then a nice tackle to finish things off.
And now a high kick here as they'll try to cover this one. And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line. Well, pretty woeful there. Just 23 yards on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Vikings offense making their way back out. Now let's give you a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. They start the drive with Cook. Oh, able to avoid him. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
Brandon's all about pace and tempo now for them. They've got the advantage, so I'm going to put musical terms for you. You don't want to go prestissimo. That's too quick, too lively, right? But you also don't want to slow it down too much. You don't want to go lento. What you really want to be is moderato. Nice and even, nice and steady, get those gains, and close out the game.
I think that chicken parm from last night's gone to your head. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Handoff comes to Cook, and he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
The game plan for any defense is finding ways to make a quarterback uncomfortable in the pocket. When you bring pressure from all angles, you never know who's going to get home. In this case, the left cornerback, right in the face of him, puts him down.
Throwing, Cousins. Got a man, it's right. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Big hook up there, forced to throw it on third down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
Works his way inside the 30 on a pickup of 4. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 12. And the return goes up to his own 17-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game of the fourth.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the fourth quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the fourth quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. A gain of 6 there on first.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
They'll set up the screen to Montgomery. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. Now that screen there on second down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying is one thing. We can second guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize that it's broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the first down on third down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. They'll look to throw. They find some open field here. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. It's a gain of 5, and that'll make it second down. Back to throw. It gets it over the middle to Cobb. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. Rodgers to Cobb, good for a Green Bay first. Back to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively, because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. He'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. He's back to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. And now before they run this 4th down play, we're going to get a timeout as they stop it prior to what will be an important 4th down. Now down by 5, they've got to go for it here on 4th down. Defense really showing respect to the deep ball here, playing off the receivers. And no, it's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And that'll be just about all she wrote for this one. So now let's reset here, Charles. They do have 2 timeouts left, so they can stop the clock twice. This one's not quite over yet.
No, and what you're doing on defense, you got to use both timeouts, obviously. But you've got to call defenses that are going to force the issue early, meaning you want that play over fast. You don't want to give them time to dance around in the backfield or run a wide sweep that'll take off time. Blitz them, put pressure on them, make sure that play ends quickly so that you can go ahead and keep moving.
Slot man moves right. They run with Cook. He's been busy tonight. And he's going to be stopped at about the 37. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he'll take this one down to the 36. He needed 2. He got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down at a yard. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
And now before they run this play on 4th and 1, we're going to get a break and a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So the offensive unit called the TO, and now we are ready to resume play. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. The tight end changing his position. They'll run for it. Cook. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. It's a gain of 4, and that should just about seal the deal.
They had to convert there on 4th down, and they ran the football. Major surprise, but they pick it up. Now they've got to really hurry.
A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.